Good afternoon all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, December 12th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So really incredibly impressive again. It basically did the same thing it did yesterday from H period on. Sad to say, as most of you know who follow me on here, I did not participate in this grind up, and boy, it was a tedious grind. But there's no excuse not to go finally get that overnight high in both ES and in NQ. We'll go over that in a minute. Righty, inside day down fails, inside day up late fails. They actually had a double distribution day that gets taken back in M. The only thing they end up with is an afternoon pullback low after being 8 for 8 wide. NQ goes out with a price probe, a triple distribution day. They have singles in L, K, and I, and an afternoon pullback in F. We go out also with a price probe, but I'm not using L's high. We didn't get far enough away from it. We go out with a triple distribution. We have single prints in L, one tick in L, K, and B period. SPY only has them in K and B period. Higher value, new high. Now look at this. We're already making new yearly highs in the maintenance session. Now a lot of people don't count what N and O do. I think that's very hard not to. Right? This is a yearly high right now. Just say, for argument's sake, the overnight, once we start at 6, opens lower and we never see this again. This is my yearly high. I would have to use that. So I can't ignore N and O period if they make certainly new yearly highs or yearly lows, and probably even monthly highs and lows. So please keep that in mind. I had a good day, but again, it was all from early in the day. I'm going to vow to do better on these days in 2024. You know, when they took out the overnight low this morning, I thought there was a danger of staying in the lower distribution and maybe even coming back to balance on the daily, because this market was incredibly long from H period yesterday and all overnight. Well, guess what? Not only didn't they do that, we got a lot longer today. No fear in this market whatsoever. This market right now is more than comfortable being long. We're long on all 3 time frames now in the ES and in the NQ. And by the way, NQ is making high highs in there, and I don't have that though. I'm going to have to see. I got to put that in there because, again, this is a yearly high, which N period's doing, but I don't have it on NQ. This is quite impressive. We have PPI tomorrow morning, and you have obviously the Fed at 2 and then the press conference at 2:30. There's going to be a lot of people hanging on what this guy has to say about next year, right? Everybody's starting to expect rate cuts. So he's going to have to be very careful how he words things, the way this market is chugging along to the upside. Otherwise, could derail it. But I'm pretty impressed with what's going on here. The one thing I'm not impressed with is the volume. But that is only one part of our equation. So I did take a short in A period in ES. This is my only ES trade. Took a short in A period to get both the overnight low and the single print from yesterday. And I got paid on it. Then I put my focus to NQ because they hadn't filled their single prints yet at that point. So I took a short in A period to go get those, which paid me. Now we got the overnight low. I thought we should look for shorts. I'm glad I didn't. Okay. In fact, the next trade I took was a long in NQ in C period even though we weren't trending NQ and ES was. I was taking the ebb and flow long to finally get pop to top, which worked nicely a couple of times. I then shorted NQ in D period because I didn't think they'd hold singles since they didn't hold them in B, and that paid me. Now, the one trade I took, which I'm very proud of, but nothing told me to get out of it, was F's low in NQ. ES did not get back far enough for me. They were still pretty close to the pocket at that point, so I thought I was waiting for more of a pullback. But NQ pulled back enough for me. I got long at 71 and I did well on it. But look what I could have done on it. I just did this whole explanation in the room. Once I bought that at 71, now it went up. When G period came down, right, and started, we stopped in one time framing. So now I could have raised my stop, right? I'm long at 71. I could have raised it, say, to 81, locking 10 points. G period only got down to 85 or so. Then again, I could have raised my stop to H's low, to 85, because H didn't. Same thing. The whole progression. Nothing told me to get out of that long. I could have made 100 points on it. Actually, I could have made 120 points on it. We're trading at 92 now. So this is something I have to work on. Again, ES also. Somebody said to me, this is a pretty good, in the room, this is a good long against both the single print fill and the open. I said, yes, it is. I didn't take it. Should have taken it. Right? If you bought 75 or 76 in ES, C period ended up going up to 83. You could have made 7 points on it. So that's something I have to get better at. This market was, and I said this. I said in H period and I said this is going to be the type of day where I just watch it, and the next thing I know, we're up 10 points. Well, guess what? We went basically from 85 to 98. We went more than 10 points. Same with NQ. So this is something people, one-time framing is powerful. When it's backed up by single prints, it's even more powerful. So you got to take that trade and just let the market do the work for you, right? I always used to say, and I haven't used this in a while, but I used to say a lot of times when the market's going back and forth, and we were, right? We only had the one set of singles. NQ didn't have any at that point. We had our afternoon pullback. It's like trying to push a rowboat that's 100 yards on the beach. You're killing yourself here. Do I get long? Do I get long? And you're pushing, but nothing, right? Once you start going back up, finally the boat gets into the water. Now you got to let the water do the work for you. I don't do that. I certainly don't do that anywhere near shape or form at all. So the market, you did all the work here if you were taking longs in F period. Once we pop the top, that's where you got to let the market do the work for you. Now let the ocean do the work for you. Right? You did all that work. You killed yourself. Let the market do. And it's something I have to do better. So again, when I'm saying this to you, I hope I'm helping people out there. But I can tell you right now, I'm doing it to reinforce it to myself constantly. Okay? As far as destinations go, our upside in SPY is today's high of 464.20. Then we don't have anything. We only have like 12 destinations left from 2022. We have a daily high of 465.09, price probe at 465.55 from January of 2022. For our downside, I'm not using the price probe because it wasn't high enough again. We have single prints in SPY 463.50 to 29. Afternoon pullback at 462.24. Single prints 461.93 to 70, and today's low 460.60. NES single print, one single print at 92.50. Next lot 91 to 89. Next thing is our afternoon pullback low at 78.25, and then another set of singles 75 to 73.50, and today's low of 62.25. Look how small all those single prints are. But guess what? It doesn't matter. They held 1 point, a couple of points. They held. Doesn't matter how small they are. It matters if they hold. And they did. For our upside, today's high is 98.50. We have an afternoon hourly high from January of 2022 at 99.50, and then a daily high of 47.36.25. Now let's go to the charts. I know I rambled a lot, but look, I'm assuming you guys and gals watch these videos because you find value in them. So hopefully it did. So here's SPY. Up, one time framing up 2 months. We're up on the monthly, all-time new high. Weekly, up. Remember last week only got $1 above the previous week's high? Guess what? We've already gotten $3.50 above this last week's high. 7 weeks. So for people who keep saying, can't go higher, can't go higher, oh yes it can. And the daily, remember the daily's been the one doing the pit stops. Well, we're firmly up, one time framing up for 3 days after coming out of a balance and an inside day. And then quickly on NQ and triple Q, same thing. Triple Q's got up to 398.79. Their next big destination is 402.28. And then their yearly all-time high is 408.71. So they're up in the monthly. Weekly came back into balance right away and now back to up. And the daily, certainly up. For me, this is all systems go. So for people who keep fighting it, you're only fooling yourself right now. Let market-generated information change to give you a reason to look for a short, and not just because you say it can't go any higher. Hope you had a good day trading. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this channel. 2 more weeks for my special, $225 for the year with 10% going to St. Jude's. Okay, payable through Venmo or PayPal. Email me, paul@camelbacktrading.org for further details. Have a great night, all.